Hi, hello everyone. This is Ama LightWorker. Today we are going to do a live Akashic reading for the mid-month of September 2018 for each and every sign of the Zodiac. I'm not going to start right away. I'm going to give a little time for everybody to log into your accounts. This reading is valid for those of you who are watching live with me right now, and also for those of you who are not able to make it live and maybe you are watching the recording of it. So it doesn't matter whether you are live with me right now or you didn't make it, so you are watching the recording of it. Please make sure that you like, share, subscribe. When you subscribe, it's like you're giving me permission to get messages that may be important for you as well. So you're giving me permission to do a reading for you when you subscribe. And always make sure that when you subscribe, you turn on the little bell right down here below someplace, or maybe up here. I don't know where it appears on your screen. That's the notification bar. And understand that when you click on the little bell, you get to set your own preference, how many times you like to be notified. Would you like to be notified each and every time that I post or live stream on my YouTube channel, etc., etc.? And I will be changing between two screens, so this way I can see what is happening in the chat, so I can talk to you guys in the chat. So please like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Again, when you subscribe, it's like you're giving me permission to give you a reading. For those of you who would like to get a private consultation with me, please email me at amalightworker@gmail.com. You may also stop by my website. So visit my website, www.amalightworker.com. All of that information is linked down here below. So my email, my website, my contact information. I listed here my services and my prices. So now let me see what's happening on the other screen. Give me one moment. Okay, here we are. I see people on the chat. Maria, Leslie, Gabriela, Kiki, Stephanie, Small Wild Flowers, Sharon, Ruti, Keita, Love White, Desiree, Butterfly. Okay, all right. Thank you to everybody. Zaza, Zoo, Cindy. Okay, so as I mentioned, all of my information is linked down here below in the show more description box. I did list all of my services and the prices. And always remember that in addition to the services that I already provide, for those of you who are interested, I created this VIP package based on the suggestions of the Akashic Records. The Akashic Records did ask me to create a VIP package for my audience, and this is what I did. So the VIP package is a 12 weeks program. So pretty much is like a 3 months program, and it will be personalized and tailored to your needs. Each and every week, we are going to decide on a specific day, a specific time for a service to take place. You are going to have access to all of the services listed on my website, and also to all of the services that are not necessarily listed on my website. We're going to have a preliminary session and a post-evaluation session. We're going to talk about your goals. Okay, I'm going to consult with you. What are your goals about this coaching package? And also I'm going to consult the Akashic Records. What is it that they suggest that we do, how to use this 12 weeks program? And of course, in addition to the time that we're going to have set for us together each and every week, if you are dealing with an emergency situation and maybe you need like an emergency reading and you need to contact me right away, that is included in the price. So if you are new, welcome to you. I'm just talking a little bit about the services that I provide and about the prices. So like a 30 minutes, half an hour, 30 minutes, a tarot reading or an Akashic reading is $55. If you do need like a full hour of an Akashic reading, the price of that is $110. Or maybe you need a tarot reading, a psychic tarot reading for an hour, the price of that is $85. I also do provide personal energy clearing, is 60 minutes, okay, $95. And always remember that when it comes to the Akashic Records, I can use the Akashic Records to do a reading. We are going to be doing that right now. But I can also use the Akashic readings, or the Akashic Records rather, to do a healing. So an Akashic reading is different from an Akashic healing. An Akashic healing lasts a lot longer. It is pretty much an hour and a half, so 90 minutes. It could be a little bit less, a little bit more. If we have to go a little bit more, maybe 10 minutes extra, I don't charge extra for it. Understand that when I start the healing process, you never know what will come up. So for some people, you know, an hour and a half is more than enough. For some other people, I need to go a little bit extra. So as I said, if that's the case, I don't charge extra for that when it comes to an Akashic healing session. Okay, I do Reiki, I do space energy clearing, I do face reading. Face reading is not psychic work. Face reading is very scientific, it's very exact. Anyone can learn how to do face reading. Remember that a face reading is completely different from a tarot reading, it's completely different from a psychic reading. It's one of those rare things that not too many people do. What else? I forget what else I do. Okay, part of the face reading is also the 9-star key. The 9-star key, it's a system that is very ancient, that originated in the ancient China, okay, and it got developed more and more over the years. So it's called the 9-star key, or a birthday reading. Basically, you tell me your birthday and I will break down that birthday. I will tell you the patterns of your birthday. For every birthday, there might be like 1, 2, or 3 archetypes associated with it. So it's going to give you a better understanding as to why you act the way you do, why you keep attracting certain energies, certain people, or certain situations, and it gives you an insight as to based on your birthday, what does it mean for you to what does it mean the 2018 for you, for example, how to use the energy of 2018, how to use the energy of 2019 to your advantage, what are the things that you are meant to do to use that energy to your advantage, and what are some of the things that maybe it's not the right moment for you to do because the energy is not the right energy for it. For example, based on your birthday, everybody has specific years when you are meant to have a new job, when you are meant to start a business, okay? Because not every year is, so to speak, energetically appropriate to open a business or to start something else. So we are meant to work with the energy. We are meant to use that energy to our advantage. Thank you so very much. I feel so happy when I wear red. Red and pink make me feel very, very happy. Okay. Thank you, Ruthie. Okay, what? And Sagishiva. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Thank you for the compliment. Okay, so that was like a little bit of an introduction there. And remember to follow me also this Sunday live. I will do a live streaming this Sunday. I don't know what I'm going to be talking about just yet. I will scroll down, your suggestions list, and I will ask the Akashic Records what is appropriate for us to do on the live streaming this Sunday. So with that being said, you got pretty much you got an idea as to who I am, what kind of services do I provide, how to contact me. Again, my email is amalightworker@gmail.com and my website www.amalightworker.com. When you go to my website, please click on the services. So when you click on the services, you're going to have an explanation of each and every service. And you're going to have an explanation of what information is required of you. For example, if you are requesting a face reading, I need very specific pictures about that. If you are requesting an Akashic reading, I need to have your full legal name, exactly as your name appears on your driver's license or on your passport. And if you do have a nickname that you very, very strongly associate with, I also need to know your nickname. Or for example, if you are requesting a 9-star key birthday reading, of course, I'm going to need your birthday in a very specific format. Understand that in different parts of the world, people say the date and the birthday differently. For example, in Europe, I am originally from Albania. In Europe, they write the date first and then the month and then the year. In United States, it's different. First you write the month, then the date, then the year. So if you are requesting a 9-star key birthday reading, pay attention to the instructions under the services. I'm going to need you to spell out the month. So if you are born in September, spell out September, followed by the date, followed by the year. So thank you for that question, Alexandria. For most of my services, you have to be 18 years old. It is a very, very strong, important rule, particularly if you are getting an Akashic reading. You have to be 18 years old. If you happen, for example, to lie to me, okay, all right, or maybe you didn't know and it was a misunderstanding, what will happen is that when I will try to open your Akashic records, they won't open because the Akashic records are very protective. Okay, they're very protective of me, they're very protective of you, and they won't allow me to get any information about you. Okay, so I would say like maybe for a psychic tarot reading, it's not a strong rule to be 18 or older, but for the rest of the services, it kind of is. You have to be 18 or older. Okay, so now the way I do this live reading is I always open with a special prayer and I always close with a special prayer. A portion of the prayer is silent, okay? After the silent part, I always say the records are now open and I will begin with each and every sign of the zodiac. Please understand that each and every one of us has a sun sign. So, okay, you also have a rising sign or an ascendant, but you also have a moon sign. So if in a particular month, maybe your sun sign is not making sense to you, please listen to your rising sign or to your moon sign, because maybe your messages will make better sense to you through your rising sign or through your moon sign. So understand all of these, the sun sign, the rising sign, and the moon sign are very important to get messages for you. And if you don't know what your rising sign is, or if you don't know what your moon sign is, you can always Google it. So you can always Google free birth chart calculator. So in order for you to find out, again, go to Google and type free birth chart calculator, okay? And you're going to have to enter your data. You're going to enter your day of birth, time, if you have it, the more precise the time of your time of birth, the better it is, and the place. Okay, and you're going to get like a little chart or a little graph, and it's going to tell you specifically what is your sun sign, what is your rising sign, and what is your moon sign. Now, without further ado, I would like to continue with this reading. Remember to type, remember to leave me a comment. I'm always curious to hear how you guys relate to these messages, and understand this is a general reading. For some of you, a portion of what I'm saying is going to be very, very true, and you're going to find the same thing, that if you listen to your rising sign, there are some messages for you as well, for your rising sign and for your moon sign. There are people who tell me, for example, everything about their sun sign sounds true to them. That's why it's very important that you listen for all of these three signs, and it's going to be very clear to you what messages particularly are intended for you. Okay. And so we do acknowledge the forces of light, asking for guidance, direction, and courage to know the truth as it is revealed for our highest good and the highest good of everyone connected to us. A Holy Spirit of God, help me to know the 12 signs of the Zodiac in the light of the Akashic Records, to see the 12 signs of the Zodiac through the eyes of the Lords of the Records, and enable me to share the wisdom and compassion that the Masters, Teachers, and Loved Ones of the 12 signs of the Zodiac have for them. The records are now open. Okay. So the first sign is, and please pay attention because sometimes I forget, what sign comes after what. So Aries is the first sign. Aries sun, rising, or Aries moon. Mid-September 2018. And always remember to click in the link down here below for those of you who would like to know more. The link is going to take you to the Vimeo videos if you are interested for download and purchase. They're telling me that for some of you, you are still dealing with some very powerful situations. For some of the Aries has to deal with a loss that the family has experienced very recently. Okay. It could be a death that somebody close to you or another family member had experienced. For some of you, it was some sort of a fight with a lover or with a spouse, okay, some kind of a misunderstandings. And it could have also been in regards to some scandals involved, because very strongly when I started this reading, for you Aries, Sun, Rising, or Moon, they kept talking about, for some of you, there is some talks, discussions around a scandal. You are not necessarily part of this scandal, but it's definitely circulating around you. Money could be better. Many of you are working diligently to figure out your financial situation, maybe to keep track of your finances, or figure out a financial aspect to a situation, and you are still in the midst of it. For many of you, whatever is going on in terms of finances, it could be, in regards to a credit card, it could be in regards to a lawsuit, it can be in regards to a legal case, immigration case, it could be in regards to banks, mortgages, a loan, whatever it is, whatever this is, they're telling me that something will come together for you by the end of October. But for many of you, you are either right in the midst of it, trying to find a solution, or trying, waiting for the green light, to be given the green light. Okay. So there's people helping each other, or maybe family members helping each other to figure out, so to speak, what happens with the finances, what happens with an inheritance problem, what happens with, you may also be very worried either about your health, or you may also have some concerns about somebody else's health. So for those of you struggling with your own personal health, there will be improvement. You just need to hold on a little bit longer, because very soon, not necessarily right now in September, but very soon, you are going to see some improvement. And they are telling me that this is the moment where many of you, rising sign, moon sign, or sun sign Aries, needs to stick together as a team, need to stick together as a unit, need to stick together as a family, if this is what makes sense to you. This is not a moment, particularly with those of you who are dealing with a certain sense of loss, losing a loved one, losing a relationship. This is not the moment to isolate your self. This is the moment to turn to God. This is the moment for a prayer. This is the moment to stick to each other. Not a good moment for you to isolate your self, because it is by being together that you are going to be able to overcome this, to cope with it. So I'm sorry for your loss. I know that somebody was commenting about a family member dying. I'm sorry for your loss. So now I have to redirect myself. And let's move on to the next sign. And they're saying for some of you who are single, there will be a great celebration. Some of you in the next 6 months could be falling in love, okay? Because the timing is going to be different for all of you single Aries. For some of you it's right now, for some of you next month. So sometime in the next 6 months, some of you are going to have some lovable experiences in love, particularly if you are single and open and looking for love. Next sign is Taurus. Taurus sun, Taurus rising, and Taurus moon. Work has been a little bit troublesome for some of you. For some of you, it is an aspect of your work. For other people, it has to deal with troublesome in the sense of the people that surround you in the workplace. For other Taurians, it is about the timing of everything, having enough time, not having enough time, or feeling a little bit restricted due to timing issues. And there's also that sense that some of you Taurians, sun, rising, or moon, maybe you have experienced a certain sense of you deserve better. However, whatever you feel that you deserve better, whether it is from your spouse, whether it is from your love partner, your family, or your work, it's just not coming together for you. There is a little bit of disappointment because something that was promised to you has not been delivered yet. So this promise has not been delivered yet. There's also a certain sense of something being celebrated. For some of you, maybe you are dealing with the preparations for some sort of an upcoming anniversary, an upcoming birthday, upcoming nuptials. So maybe somebody in the family or somebody around you, maybe they're getting married, or maybe they have a birthday or some sort of a thing to be celebrated, because I keep getting a lot of you worried about making all the preparations. Am I going to make it on time or not? Or how am I going to fit everything in the schedule? I hope that this is making sense to you, Taurus. So please do type, send me a message. Let me know how you relate to this. There is a little bit of a state of confusion, particularly mentally. For some of you, it's like you have to deal with a lot of important choices, a lot of important decisions, to the point that it feels as that for some of you, it feels like you feel that maybe your life could be going in a different direction, because I also keep getting that some of you are very, very careful, or even hesitating a little bit, having to make these important choices, having to make some special arrangements, because you feel that whatever you are doing now could be changing the course of something, could be changing the course of your relationship, could be changing the course of your marriage, could be changing the course of your career, or so to speak, the course of your life. There is a lot of spiritual growth. For many of you, you have been working also a while back. This is not new to you, working toward your soul's growth. And some of you Taurians, they're telling me that some of you Taurians, you can be a great teacher, or you can be a great coach, or you can be a great therapist if you want to. You are facing you're facing some of your own, when you question yourself, am I good enough, or can I do this? So you are facing a little bit of your own insecurities, but this is only a passing phase. Where you are headed, Taurus, for some of you, in a couple of months or even a year from now, remember to go back to this video, because in a couple of months or a year from now, your life will be completely different. However your life is in mid-September 2018, in a couple of months or in a year from now, it will completely change, and it will change for the better. What you need right now, Taurus sun, rising, or moon, you need a little bit of empowerment. You need to empower yourself. Excuse me for a moment. So what you need is, you need to empower your self, and know that if you are putting your energy, your hours, your hopes, you are working diligently toward the achievement or something, you are going to be able to achieve your goal, okay? You just have to hang on in there for a little longer. They're talking about some of you Taurians dealing with important investments, dealing with maybe, I don't know, switching mortgage companies or the banks. They're showing me something around real estate, mortgages, rent, or maybe you rent out to other people. They're showing me, renters that you could possibly have, and reaching an important deal or an important agreement. For some of you, you could be reaching an important deal or an agreement with a business partner, some sort of an offer that suddenly shows up for you. So for some of you, you are on the verge of making money. This money will show up in different ways for different Taurians. And the bigger solution, or the more permanent solution, are yet to happen, because for many of you, I keep getting these financial rewards or money coming to you sometime in October, November. So whatever you need to put in motion now that is associated with money, any applications, paperwork, documents, anything that you need to apply for or any procedures that you need to begin, do them now. Begin now. I hope that this is making sense to you. Next sign is Gemini. Gemini Sun, Gemini Rising, and Gemini Moon. For some of you Geminis, they are telling me about preparing whatever you need to prepare to have ready for signing of an important agreement, finalizing an important deal, moving forward with your career, okay? Also preparing to move forward with your career. For some of you, they are also showing me switching from one job to another job. If you are a Gemini who is either self-employed or maybe you have a business, they are telling me that now this business that you may have, it's now time to reevaluate it because now you need to upgrade your business to the next level up. It doesn't matter what kind of business you have, it's the time now to make it better, to boost it, to bring it to the next level up. I keep getting an image of a lot of you Geminis, Gemini Sun, Rising, or Moon. If you have a social media account, you could be changing that account. You are going to make significant changes to that. You could be changing your profile. You could be changing your status. You could be changing the nature of the work that you post on social media. If you have a website, you could be doing some changes to your website. You could be selecting who's going to be your friend or who's not going to be your friend, and maybe you're going to do that on some sort of a Facebook account. I keep getting a lot of activities that have to deal with networking, social media accounts, and important communications with people of importance. For some of you, this could be some important communication between you and a boss that you may have, between maybe you and a CEO. For some of you, they are also talking about finding a spiritual mentor, finding somebody who, in other words, is going to guide you, is going to advise you towards what is the next step that you need to do. For some of you, I keep getting a lawyer shows up or an attorney shows up if you were indeed dealing with a situation where you needed some sort of a legal advice. They're telling me that this lawyer or this attorney will show up. Some of you need to submit some sort of a paperwork, okay, or documents, or you may have to submit again, resubmit some work that you thought that you did, some paperwork that you thought that you did, or some documents that you thought that you did. Some of you are going to be preoccupied with renewing, okay? You may be renewing a membership that you have. You could be renewing a driver's license. You could be renewing a passport, renewing some sort of insurance, renewing a contract. So different Geminis are going to be dealing with a situation where you have to renew something. They are also telling me about physical changes, how some of you have been thinking of making some sort of a physical change. Maybe you wanted to change your hair, maybe you wanted to change, I don't know, a different style of clothing. Maybe you wanted to change your diet, your nutrients. Maybe you wanted to change your healthcare provider. They are talking about you, looking to make some changes that are going to give you great results in the long run. Okay, for example, when you make changes to your diet, that's going to give you results for the long run. Solutions that are going to be a little bit more permanent, not solutions that are short term. You're looking to see the long-term picture, the long-term solution. I also keep getting some disagreements. Some of you could be having disagreements with somebody else, maybe on social media, maybe texting, maybe emails. You could be having some disagreements with a sibling. You may be having some disagreements with a friends. So basically it is about you having a different point of view and another person having a different point of view. But do not let these disagreements slow you down, okay? If you have a goal and you are focusing, maybe for some of you the goal is to focus on your career, don't allow that to get you distracted, okay, from your goal. If your goal is maybe you're going to, find the time to work out in the gym and, make it possible for you to make those diet changes, focus on that. Do not allow these situations, the emotions, and to take over, or whatever is going on with you mentally, to distract you from the prize, to distract you from your goal. Sometimes a conversation needs to happen. This conversation may need to happen between you and a parent, between you and a sibling, between you and a boss that you may have, or another person, because for some of you, enough is enough. Okay, and you may have to address something of importance. For some of you, I also keep getting that addressing things of importance also that have to deal with your own physical body and with your own health. Maybe having to address them with your doctor, your GP, or another specialist. Again, I keep getting the sense that for some of you, what you are experiencing is enough is enough. Maybe you're just going to make that decision like, enough worrying, I decided not to worry anymore. So I keep getting that sense that you're going to feel like enough is enough. I hope that this is making sense to you, Gemini. Excuse me. And also pay attention, because sometime in the next 3 months, many of you Geminis, sun sign, rising sun, or moon sign, are going to connect or reconnect with some people from your past. You're going to keep running into people from your past, into people that maybe you haven't seen in a long time. Maybe you're going to get together with them. So that will happen for you. So people of the past. In the next 3 months, it's going to be on and off, but you are constantly going in some ways to run, contact, or get in touch with some people from your past. The next sign is, and again, leave me a comment down here, Gemini. Cancer. Cancer sun, Cancer rising, and Cancer moon. Let me see what we have for you. Mid-September 2018. For some of you, I keep hearing that some sort of an alarm went off or went on, got turned on, got switched on. For some of you, this alarm has to deal with an emotional situation or a stressful situation. So they're talking about something internally, okay, mentally and emotionally happening with you. For other ones, this has to deal with some emergency situation that you had to address. For many of you, this emergency situation already happened, okay? Whatever this was, some sort of an emergency situation. But now they're saying that you may have to, either you're patching things up because of that emergency situation, you're dealing with the aftermath, or there's some sort of a connection here with some emergency that happened very recently or sometime in the past. If you are a Cancer and so far you have not dealt with some sort of an emergency situation, you may still deal with an emergency situation. Maybe somebody else around you is dealing with an emergency situation and they may ask you for some help. For some of you, they're saying that this month has to deal with losses and gains. So again, this month has to deal with losses and gains, okay? And for some of you, these losses and gains could be financially, okay? Ups and downs financially. For other Cancerians, this has to do with your stress level, with your emotional status, okay? How you feel internally. These waves, these ups and downs. And if you are dealing with clients, if you are somebody who's dealing with clients, you may also experience that in your clients, you know, ups and downs, getting along, not getting so along with clients, having very little clients, and then suddenly having a lot of clients. So these ups and downs, you may also be experiencing your own body, okay, your own body's energy, having these ups and downs. Let me know if this is making sense to you, Cancer, Sun, Rising, or Moon. For some of you, it is about a house and a mortgage or a rent, but it is about a living arrangement or a living situation. Now, some of you Cancerians, they're showing me how it's downsizing. Okay, maybe people moving out and you're trying to make some new arrangements. Okay, something that is more financially more appropriate for you. And for other Cancerians, what is being shown to me, they're showing me like how there is still this chance for you to own a house or to own some kind of property. I also keep getting that some of you could end up either buying a boat, could be a used one, but they're showing me like buying a boat, buying a property, buying a home, buying a business for some of you. So something that you thought it's not going to happen, now suddenly the cards are back on the table again. So some possibility that maybe you thought, you know, you missed it or you lost that possibility, that may be making a comeback for you. So something that you thought you lost, some sort of opportunity, you may have, you could be given another chance toward this opportunity. They are showing me some of you having problems with water in your house. Could be like, what do you say? How do you say that? Could be a sink, could be water leaking, could be tubes, could be washing machines, could be a fridge, but there's something around water. For some of you may also has to deal with maybe storms or flooding, but you're bound to have some problems related to plumbing, water problems. For some of you Cancerians, clearly this is not for all of you. What you need to know right now and what you need to hear right now is that do not lose all hope, okay? It is not the end of the world yet. Do not allow yourself to be pessimistic. Do not allow yourself to be very critical of yourself. And at the same time, do not allow yourself to set a very high bar for yourself. Some of you Cancerians have set these very high expectations for yourself, and it's now time for you to re-evaluate whether these high expectations that you have for yourself are realistic or not. What is it that you need to change? Are your expectations too low? Are your expectations too high? And remember, Cancerian, that this mid-September 2018, remember that the key is balance and moderation. Everything needs to happen in balance and in moderation. Everything is good if you do it in moderation. There could be talks about maybe having another child. There could be talks about children. There could be talks about pregnancies. Whether you are single or married, they're telling me that you are bound to have some big realizations around marriages, future marriages, around whether you want to be pregnant or not, or whether you want to have a child or not. So it's like your mind is going, it's like you and yourself are really going to have a big conversation with yourself, your internal conversation, and you're just going to you're going to arrive in a very important understanding as to what do you want from life at this stage of your life, at this point. What do you want your life to bring you next? So it's about, making those important decisions, whether you are single or married, about how you feel about marriage, how you feel about what is a faithful relationship, what is a faithful partner, children, life values, family values, religion, spirituality. Trust is going to be an important one. And for some of you, your trust has been pretty much very, very challenged recently. So somebody has definitely challenged your trusts to the very core. I hope that this is making sense to you. Again, please do leave me a comment down here below. The next sign is, and I'm getting a little hot. After Cancer, who's next? Leo. Leo Sun, Leo Rising, and Leo Moon. For some of you Leos, your relationship are transitioning. So remember, you have a relationship with a parent, you have a relationship with a sibling, you have a relationship with your work, you have a relationship with your coworkers, your neighbors, your friends. So all kinds of relationships are now changing, are now evolving. And for many of you, you are going to make important realizations about, the very least, one of these relationships that you have. For some of you, they're telling me, Leo, that love could be very surprising. So remember, again, they're saying for some of you Leos, love could be very surprising, or love will show up to surprise you. So some surprises in love. When it comes to fame and reputation, what they're telling me that anybody who had the wrong idea about you, now they are going to change their mind, because they are going to see you for truly who you are. And this may be a good thing for you, but this may not necessarily be a good thing for you, depending on which Leo you are and what is happening, what situation they're referring to. So again, now people are truly going to know you for who you are. For some of you, there is a situation involving a boss, a supervisor, boss. And for some of you, they're telling me the situation could go this way, very negative right away, could be turning right away, a very negative situation. Or it could be turning just like that in a split second into a very, very positive opportunity. So dealing with important people, people who have a lot of power, like your boss, maybe institutions, maybe lawyers, attorneys, or other institutions of importance, you have to be very diplomatic, because as I said, in a split second, you could be turning that relationship, for the worse, or you could be turning that relationship or the situation completely, toward the most positive. You have to be very aware of how you use your words, what kind of words you're using. If you are posting anything on social media, what is it that you're posting? What is it that you're talking about? What specific words are you using to convey your message? Okay, because not everybody is going to get the very core of that message. So pay attention to the texts, emails, phone calls. Pay attention to everything, because for some of you, maybe not right away, but later on, maybe even in a few weeks, some situation is going to come up because of something that got misinterpreted during this mid-September 2018. For some of you, your fame and your reputation, your popularity is on the rise. You're going to feel much more in demand. You're going to feel like everybody wants to be around you. Maybe family members want to be around you, friends want to be around you. If you have followers in social media, maybe you're just going to feel that much more blessed, having a lot of followers and subscribers. But whatever you do, Leo, is very important that you stay true and authentic to who you are, regardless of how intense a situation can be. They're telling me that you are going to face a situation where your true character will be tested. Okay, so it's very important that you stay true and authentic to who you are. They're showing me a lot of you Leos either doing something spiritual, getting a spiritual reading, a spiritual counseling, getting a tarot reading, getting an Akashic reading, talking to a medium. Some of you, maybe you want to train in exoteric, metaphysical, astrology kind of a thing. They're showing me like how some of you are willing or searching to get a workshop or to get courses or training into doing something metaphysical, spiritual. Could be astrology, tarot, Reiki, Akashic reading. You could be the one getting services, booking services this month, because they're telling me many of you, for many of you, your soul is now evolving, and how your life experiences have enriched your soul. So it's very important that you understand that about you. Okay. Leave me a comment. I hope that makes sense to you. Virgo Sun, Virgo Rising, and Virgo Moon. There's a little bit of that sense of disappointment. Different Virgos have, they have their own reasons, their personal reasons as to why is it that they're facing some sort of a disappointment. But then they are telling me the situation will turn around, okay? And people are going to surprise you during this month of mid-September 2018. People are going to surprise you. And the way how some opportunities will just show up for you again is going to be very surprising for some of you Virgos, and you know exactly who you are, okay? They're saying you have to leave the past in the past. And they want me to repeat this again. For some of you Virgos, Virgo Sun, Rising, or Moon, they're saying it would be much wiser for you if you leave the past in the past. It's very important that you don't add fuel to the fire. You have to leave some people alone, or you have to leave some situations alone. It's very important that emotionally you don't have to feel disconnected, you don't have to feel isolated, okay? Because for some of you, there is this little sense of, yes, it is okay for you to go within and to have a moment to yourself, okay? But at the same time, remember too, you also need time to socialize. You need time to talk about things that are important. You shouldn't feel too much isolation. For some of you, they're talking about new work projects, something new happening with work. Okay, each and every one of you is going to face some new situation that is related to work. Could be a new situation, could be a new system of operating, could be new computers, could be new furniture in the office, could be new people, could be new rules, regulations, whatever this is, you are bound to face something new in regards to work. For some of you Virgos, you need to know more because it is connected to a situation that already happened. And maybe you don't know everything just yet. You think you know, but maybe you don't know all the details yet. Okay? And this situation that happened could have been a good situation, could have been maybe not so good situation, but they're telling me you don't know everything just yet. And it is now time for you either to investigate, or it's now time for you to find out all the ins and outs, find out the facts, find out everything that maybe you were not aware of before. For some of you, I keep getting job interviews will be lining up. I feel like some of you will have like a set of, so more than one, like a set of job interviews to go, but pretty much for many of you, I'm shown mostly toward October rather than now in September. But if you are somebody, if you are a Virgo who's looking for a job, they are encouraging you to start applying for these jobs now, start sending out resumes now. So prepare for that now. And also, some of you Virgos, they're telling me that, you know, again, they're saying, and they're laughing, they're saying they know, you know exactly who you are, and they're saying it's not so good to be stubborn all the time. So for some of you Virgos, you shouldn't be this stubborn. It's not a good moment for you to be stubborn, particularly being stubborn in a marriage, in a relationship, or being stubborn with a loved one. They are showing me some of you being a veteran, like a veteran of war, or maybe you won some sort of a what do you call it, like a medal for something that you did. So some of you, either you got rewarded, or very soon you are going to be rewarded, because for many of you Virgos, they are showing me some sort of a reward of achievement, praise coming your way, people praising you about something. So rewards, particularly emotional rewards, and the financial rewards, and the other rewards, okay, the more materialistic rewards are going to follow. But first, you have this emotional recognition and rewards. Lots of praise coming toward you during this mid-month of September 2018. Lots of compliments. You're going to get praise. You're going to get compliments for various different reasons. I hope that this is making sense to you. Leave me a comment down here below. Okay, so next is the sign of Libra. Libra Sun, Libra Rising, and Libra Moon. Let me see what we have for you. For some of you Libras, it is about your marriage. Either you are in a relationship that to you feels like a marriage, or this is about your marriage, and how, for some of you Libras, you had to face some important challenges that affected your marriage. For some of you, there were some health issues that affected the marriage. For other ones, it was about making an important choice decision about this marriage. So it was about the love and separating or not separating. And how now, if you are this Libra, who had challenges, had something happen that affected your relationship or your marriage, now towards October, your situation will be more stable. Okay, so emotionally, at the very least, it's going to be a little bit more stable. They are showing me international travel. They're showing me travel, preparing to travel, arrangements to travel, short distance travel, long distance travel, international travel. So all of these things, they are encouraging you. In other words, they are encouraging you to plan for a travel. They are encouraging you to travel, even if it is just for fun. Even if you don't have a reason to travel, find an excuse. Go travel. For this, now the message that is coming in right now feels very specific. So let me know if this is you. They're talking about friends. They're talking either about job contracts with friends, maybe having clients with friends, or for work reasons dealing with friends, or traveling to friends. But for some reason, that seems to be highlighted for some of you Libras. Now, you have to take a challenge. They're saying for some of you Libras, you have to take a challenge. And basically, you have to navigate through this challenge in a way that you're going to make lemonade out of lemons. You have the power to transform anything negative into something positive. Therefore, it's very important that you understand that this is a special skill that you have, because you need to call upon this special skill, okay, that you have to transform something negative into something positive. And a lot of this power of transformation has to do with your own self. It is now time for you, Libra, to transform inside out. Okay, so transform inside out, whatever this means for you. You know exactly. If this message is intended for you, you know exactly what it means. They are showing me some particular situations. For some of you, it involves one of your siblings. For other Libras, it involves one of your parents. It involves a business partner, a cousin. So there is some sort of a situation where either maybe you got hurt by a family member, maybe by a sibling, or maybe you hurted them. And they're telling me that you still need to clear the air. You still need, so you need to do something about it, or maybe the other person needs to do something about it. But for some of you, your communication with someone in the family could be particularly very delicate right now. So it could be between you and a sibling. For some reason, a brother was very much highlighted. Could be between you and a parent, you and a cousin, even with a spouse. But they're saying how this communication now could be very delicate, and you need to be careful with that. For some reason, they're showing me like a glass jar, or what is that? Or a glass vase being broken. They're showing me like things being shattered, like things falling off somebody's hands and being shattered. Whatever this means for you, understand this is a general reading, and these messages are intended to make sense to you. They're not intended to make sense to me. They're telling me that you are going to experience growth in your career. You are going to experience good things in your career. But for some of you, or with your work, whatever work you have, but for some of you, you are meant to have these rewards a little bit later, because not every Libra is born at the same time. Okay, so for some of you, you're going to see these rewards, these grow through your work right now. For other ones, it's going to be a little bit later. But by November, a lot of you Libras are going to be a lot more content with your job, your career, and your work situation. They are encouraging some of you to sign up for, I don't know, dating activities, dating online, I don't know, speed dating, dance for singles. So for some of you, they're encouraging you to get a little bit more out of your shell. Okay, so mingle with other singles. They're describing activities when you mingle with other people, not necessarily because you're single, but you're just mingling with other people and you're having fun. Networking seems to be very powerful. So they are encouraging you to do a lot of networking during this month of mid-September. Okay? Leave me a comment. I hope that this is making sense to you. The next sign after Libra, who's next after Libra? Scorpio. Okay. Scorpio Sun, Scorpio Rising, and Scorpio Moon. Okay. What has been, it won't be anymore. If something has been a little bit overwhelming for you, and they're talking about internally how something feels overwhelming. Not necessarily that something is happening, okay? It is about how internally you feel, how you have this weight on you that is very overwhelming. This could be a situation, this could be a person, this could be your own fear, this could be anything that weighs you down. It's overwhelming. And they're telling me that very soon, Scorpio, you are going to take your power back. Very soon, you are going to feel like your willpower will be restored, and you are mostly going to feel this restoration of your willpower, your motivation, your self-defiance. I don't know what that means because I wouldn't personally use that word. This is coming from the Akashic records. Will be restored right now in this mid-September. You need to do the proper steps. You need to prepare. You need to put things in motion if you want these things to happen you know, for some of you by October, by November, so on and so forth. So if it is paperwork that you need to put together now, do it now. If you need that, you need to apply for something now, do it now. If you need to renew, revise, or build a website, do it now. If you need to apply for a course or a class, do it now. So whatever you need to prepare for, do it now. And they are encouraging a lot of you Scorpios that if you are postponing something, or if you feel that you have enough time to do something, they say do it now. Better sooner, prepare for it sooner rather than later. If you are traveling, make those travel arrangements sooner rather than later. Keep the receipt of everything that you could be buying. This could be, maybe you're buying things of importance, like, I don't know, a computer, an iPad, a cell phone, a car. I don't know what else you could be buying. Maybe you're buying tons of clothes, or maybe you're buying like back to school items. Whatever you buy that is either expensive or there's a lot of them, keep the receipt, because they're telling me you're going to know exactly why you need to keep the receipt later on. So come back to this reading. So save the receipt of everything that you are buying, selling and purchasing. It's time for some of you Scorpios to change the nature of your relationships. Again, they're reminding you, you have a relationship with your friend, you have a relationship with each and every family member, you have a relationship with a spouse, or even if you are single, you still have a relationship with the idea of love, okay? Because the energy is there. You're putting out there the energy, even though maybe you could be single, but again, you're projecting that energy, okay? So they're saying it's time now for you to kind of change, transform some of these relationships. You are going to let go of the people that you need to let go, and you are going to work on strengthening and, you know, bonding with the people that you choose to keep in your life. They are particularly showing me, for a lot of you Scorpios, a new group of friends. Maybe, you know, new group of acquaintance. For some of you, you could be reconnecting with some people from your past, maybe get-togethers or communicating in some ways very soon, because this is a general reading. The timing is going to be different for every Scorpio, but very soon, many of you Scorpios are going to end up with maybe a new circle of friends. For some of you, it could be due to some sort of a move. There's going to be a move involved, and maybe, you know, as a result, you're going to have new people around you. Pay attention to this video, to this recording, and go back to this recording in a couple of months, because in a couple of months or in 12 months, so by next year, by next September, all of these things could be still taking place by next year. Okay, it could be by next September. Your life will be completely changed and transformed as a result of you being rewarded with something. They're talking about financial rewards that are going to take place starting from now, going in the next 12 months forward. Rewards in love in relationships, and there's going to be some sort of a change of residence, some sort of an important move happening for some of you Scorpios. If you are experiencing some difficulties with work, or maybe finding a job, or with a business, or with a business idea, you are going to be able to find solutions. So hang on a little bit longer, okay, and prepare for changes. Put something in motion. Put something in motion, they're saying, because it will reward you. And if you are a Scorpio who in some ways you are facing some difficulties, either finding a job, or with a job situation, or with a business situation, you are going to be okay. You are going to be okay. So this is meant to be a temporary challenge. So I hope that this is making sense to you, Scorpio. For some of you, they're talking about things of the past, relationships of the past, girlfriends or boyfriends of the past. For some of you, they're telling me people with whom you were romantically linked in the past. For some reason, they're going to be all important, or something here is highlighted that has to deal with someone with whom you were romantically linked in some way from your past. And double check your schedule. If you have a schedule, double check your schedule. If you're traveling, double check, triple check your traveling arrangements, the timing of everything. So double check, triple check everything that you are doing, particularly if you deal with schedules, you have like an appointment book or travels. Okay, I hope that this is making sense. Please do leave me a comment down here below. After Scorpio, we have Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius Sun, Sagittarius Rising, and Sagittarius Moon. Okay, what do we have for you? For some of you, they're saying that you have been very quiet. Maybe you have been very quiet where you should have spoken, or maybe you have been very quiet in a time when you should have taken action. From this moment on, you have to understand that a lot of things will start to progress for you. A lot of things are going to begin to move forward. Okay, and I keep getting that for some reason, a lot of you Sagittariuses, you need to watch this video again sometime in November 2018, and November is coming up, we're in September right now, because they're telling me for many of you, you may find some solution in November. You could be rewarded in November, or something that you are starting now. It will, you know, finalize or complete or give you results in November. They are talking about a move. Some of you Sagittarians are looking for a home or dealing with a new home, and finally that transition, you move into a new home, will be complete in November. Some of you will be mentioned. Somebody will be writing about you. Some people may be mentioning your name to other people. They could be writing about you in an email. They could be writing about you on social media. They could be writing about you in a local newspaper or in something that gets distributed in your company. And this is positive. So there is at the very least one person who is very highly recommending you about something, and the word is going around. They are reminding you that whatever you are doing right now in mid-September 2018, remember the power of the spoken word, okay? Because word gets around, and for some of you, they're telling me that that could be the best way for you right now to find a new job, if indeed you are a Sagittarius who's looking for a new job. So word of mouth. Pay attention, word of mouth is going to be very powerful, and you may end up with some solution simply through word of mouth. I keep getting some of you Sagittarians kind of switching your providers. So if you have a doctor, maybe you switch into another doctor. If you have some kind of a health insurance company, maybe you're switching to another healthcare company. If you have, let's say, for example, you have a cable company, now you're switching to another provider. So for some of you, you are dealing with some sort of a switch. So switching from one company to another. This could be your utility companies that you're switching over to new ones. This could be your healthcare practitioner or a dentist. So you're switching from one provider to another provider. And for some reason, this seems to be highlighted for some of you Sagittarians. You could be changing lawyers even. Your platform will be changing. So if you are somebody who maybe you post something on social media, you have your own platform, maybe you post on Twitter, maybe you post on YouTube, I don't know where else you could be posting, maybe you post on Facebook. Now you're going to be making some changes to that. If you are a working Sagittarius, then you are going to be making some changes related to the way how you do your work. There's going to be some good news coming to you from a family member. This good news may be about you, but a family member is going to give you that good news, and it could be about you. There's going to be some sort of good news in regards to somebody's birthday, some sort of an invitation, family coming together in some sort of a celebration. There could be news about somebody giving birth or a pregnancy. And I keep getting that for some of you Sagittarians, I keep getting good news coming to you from one of your siblings. And now, what I'm about to say right now won't apply to all of you Sagittarians, but they're telling me you know exactly what who you are, and you know exactly that this message is intended for you, because they're saying, Sagittarius, you now need to prepare for the worst. So again, this message is not intended for everybody, but you will know exactly that this message is directed for you. It will make sense to you immediately. So some of you need to prepare for the worst. So hope for the better, but prepare for the worst. And they're talking about some stigma. They're talking about how underestimating something like a dogma, a stigma, I don't know, and then underestimating something, and then it happens because you underestimated it. So think on that. Anything that you could be underestimating right now. I hope that this is making sense to you. Leave me a comment down here below. Capricorn Sun, Capricorn Rising, and Capricorn Moon. Mid-September 2018. So let me see what we have for you. They're saying that for some of you Capricornians, you have been doing such a great job and you have been doing so well, then they're saying somebody will be bowing to you. They will, you know, in a sign of respect, they will take the head off to honor you. You are going to get this profound sense that somebody is rewarding you in some way. You are going to get this profound sense that somebody is recognizing you for your work and for your efforts. You are going to get recognition in one form or in another form, in one way or in another way. For some of you, they're saying you open the door to a new family member. They are also saying that you opened the doors to a new home. So either you're transitioning into a new home, or this new home is coming very soon for you in the next upcoming 3 months. They want me to congratulate some of you, because they're saying some of you either got a new citizenship, or maybe you got a new visa, or you renewed your passport and you got a new passport. So they want me to congratulate you in terms of some important paperwork and in terms of some important documentation, license, certification, diploma, degree that you got. Okay, or you are about to get, and immigration related stuff seems to be very highlighted. And again, they're saying congratulations. So I hope that this is making sense to you. Please leave me a comment below. You may have to deal with maybe a family meeting that wasn't planned for, maybe like a sudden meeting that happens at work and maybe it wasn't planned for, or maybe it got planned the very last moment. Some sort of a get together where everybody is sharing opinions, where everybody is talking about something of importance, okay, that maybe wasn't planned for. Everything came together in the last moment. And these negotiations or this discussion, this talk, okay, seems to be very important. They are also talking about some of you dealing with things that are improvised. So improvising something, improvising a solution, things that maybe happen last moment and you have to prepare, you have to improvise. So it's like you have to adjust to the timing of everything. You need to be very flexible. Remember, Capricorn, right now it's time for you to be very flexible. It's not the time for you to be very rigid, with your thinking, to be very rigid with your timing and your scheduling. You have to be very transparent, and you have to be very adaptable, very adjustable. You have to go with the, you have to see where the wind is taking you. So you have to adapt. They're talking about some of you dealing with some sort of a parent-teacher conference, or somebody who needs to have an important conversation with you about a child that you may have, okay? And they're talking about how some of you, particularly if you have grown-up children, maybe you were not completely aware of their actions, something that they were doing. And if you are a parent, please be very careful. You may not know everything that your child is up to. For some of you, I even keep getting you trying to get some help, either for a child or for another family member that in some ways you are responsible for, or even trying to get help for a friend of yours. Maybe they're dealing with some sort of an abuse, maybe they're dealing with anger, aggression, assault, maybe they're dealing with an addiction, and you're trying, in other words, to kind of intervene, to bring some help to them. You're trying to help them in some way. I also keep getting an image of some of you Capricorns buying a new dress, and there's, I don't know, for some reason, I mean, people buy new stuff all the time, like new clothes all the time, but for you, they're talking about this very particular kind of dress, that it's a new dress because there's something very different about this dress. Maybe it's a dress that you will purchase to go into because you need to attend a very special event. This could be maybe some special clothes that you need, or like a special uniform that you need for a function that you're going to attend, or for a particular kind of job. But they're telling me like all eyes are going to be on you. And if you are a guy, you are going to end up buying some sort of a new clothes. Again, new clothes. And all eyes are going to be on you. They're talking about you preparing to attend some sort of a symposium, conference, meetings, networking events. So there's some sort of a you preparing for these kind of things. New courses and new classes are also being indicated for some of you. This could also be webinars or workshops on line, and you are on the verge, not some of you, but many of you are on the verge of launching new things. You are on the verge of doing new things. I hope that made sense to you. Again, please leave me a comment down here below. Thank you. Aquarius Sun, Aquarius Rising, and Aquarius Moon. Let me see what we have for you. There is a little bit of sadness, okay? So for many of you Aquarians, I keep getting like there is this little bit of sadness, but also mixed in with feelings of hope, with feelings of joy. However, you need to have more enjoyment out of your daily life. And a schedule that you have may be changing. Your working hours may be changing. Your personal schedules, appointments that you may have, they may be changing. They're talking about how you are going to take a little bit more of a practical approach. You may also be taking a little bit more of an aggressive approach to make something happen. You're going to be more persistent to make something happen. If it is about your health, again, you're going to be taking a new approach, and this could be a more practical approach. If we are talking about your career or your job, again, you could be taking a more practical approach to change things in your work or in your career, if this is what you want. If it is about a family situation, they're telling me that some of you have been experiencing ups and downs, or a mix of good things and maybe not so good things. So there are some family related situations that there's an aspect of that that is still affecting you, okay? And it doesn't matter whether it's still yet to happen or it already happened. They're saying it's still affecting you, and it shouldn't be affecting you this much. So pay attention to the relationship with your parents, the relationship with your sibling, any situations that in some way is affecting the family, because now they're telling me that whatever was overwhelming, okay, or difficult or challenged that involved the family or about the family, things will now start to feel a little calmer or to be a little bit steadier, more grounded, particularly toward the end of September. As you are approaching September, as you are approaching October. So also pay attention to the month of October and the month of November. You may have to go back to this video and watch it a few times in October and in November, because there's going to be something of importance that will happen in October and November, and it's going to make better sense to you as you are listening to these messages. Do not give up on what you believe that is right for you. Do not give up on whatever injustices have been done toward you. They're telling me that some of you Aquarians, you need to stand up for yourself, whether this is speaking up with a friend, okay, maybe there's some situation here involving a friend that you need to speak up, whether it is a situation involving a boss or a family member, or something that involves the law or the judicial system. It's very important, in other words, that you stand up, but you stand up fighting with everything at your disposal. So if you had to use the law to fight and to stand up for yourself, do that. So they are urging you to use the proper way to look for your right. They're asking you to use the proper way to defend yourself or to stand up for your rights. For some of you, they're telling me that if you have been involved with important paperwork and important documents, now they're saying that, what are you waiting for? You need to speed it up a little bit, because in some cases, it is you, Aquarius, that you are slowing down a process. So you either need to put together like a package of paperwork and documents, or you need to do something in order for you to get something. So whatever this is, do it. If you need to, I don't know, schedule for the test so you can pass the test and be certified or licensed, for example, do that. But they're saying you have been delaying long enough. You have to do something in order for you to get something. So do whatever you have to do. It is an important month for your health. For many of you, they're telling me that you have to examine carefully your own body, your own health. What transformation do you want to make with your body and with your health? Because sometimes it's not about your body, sometimes it's about your energy, it's about your health. So act now. If you need to see your doctor, if you need to see another specialist, so prepare for it now, because it feels like for some of you physically you have been feeling a little bit powerless, or you have been feeling a little bit like your energy was off, either physically or mentally. So now it's time for you to rebuild your physical energy, to rebuild your emotional energy, or even your mental energy. So prepare properly for that. Give me one moment, please. So they're saying, A walk in the nature would be very helpful for a lot of you Aquarians. They are asking you, in other words, particularly now, and as the next month is approaching October and throughout October, to walk, or to do some type of a physical activity, moderate. You don't have to go crazy, but some type of a moderate exercise, because it's going to help you a lot with a lot of things. I keep getting some sort of a romance in the air for some of you. They're saying that between now and the next 6 months, somebody will surprise you with a romantic gesture, okay? Or if you are single, you may find yourself very attracted to somebody. Okay, I don't know if you're going to start a relationship with them or what's going to start or what's going to happen, but between now and the next 6 months, you are going to find yourself very much attracted toward somebody, and they are asking you not to delay anything. If it is up to you and you are the one procrastinating, delaying, you need to hurry up. Stop delaying. So that's the message for you, Aquarius. Stop delaying things happening in your life. Your life is about to happen, and very soon. So stop delaying it. Okay, stop procrastinating. Do what you have to do. Start putting things in action, whatever you need to put in action. Now, pay attention to your dreams. Your dreams very often are very vivid, and they are about to be even more vivid. If you don't remember your dreams right away, maybe you're going to remember them later, but pay attention to your dreams. They're telling me that your intuition and your psychic ability and your creative power, your creative abilities are going to increase, and they are going to continue to increase over the course of the next months. And a lot of you Aquarians are going to feel that starting now is going to happen at different months, different weeks for different Aquarians. You're going to feel like finally you are finding your calling. Okay, remember, so between now and the next couple of weeks, the next couple of months, a lot of you Aquarians are going to find finally your calling. What is it that you are meant to do here in Earth? Why is it that you got reincarnated? And they're telling me that what is about to happen has a lot to do with karma. Karma is intervening for a lot of you Aquarians. Okay, so something significant to you, okay? It may not be significant for other people, but it's going to be something significant to you that maybe you're going to run, you're going to see signs. It could be a dream. It could be, particular signs that you may run into all the time that are meaningful to you. So something meaningful will happen to give you an indication that karma is now intervening. Whatever is happening now is karmic. And remember to feed yourself, okay? Remember to feed yourself. Don't go too much without eating too many hours. Don't delay eating. For some of you, it's important that you operate. It's important that you have your stomach full as you are, going about your business, as you are, living your daily life. So that's very important for some of you. And I keep getting some of you may decide to see a hypnotist. I don't know. For some reason, I keep getting some of you could be seeing or scheduling some sort of a hypnotherapy session. You could be doing a mediumship session. You could be doing a meditation session. You could be scheduling some sort of a healing schedule. I feel like a lot of you Aquarians, they do suggest that you schedule something spiritual. You could be going to the church if that's spiritual. You could be attending services, that's spiritual. You could be, scheduling for a tarot reading or an Akashic reading or some other form of reading, or maybe, scheduling an appointment with an astrologer. You are advised to do those kind of stuff now. And naturally, you are going to be drawn to get a session with someone. And they're saying, don't forget to feed your pets. So if you have a pet, Don't forget to feed your pet. For some reason, a pet, particularly a dog, is being very highlighted. So I hope that this is making sense to you. So something significant around a pet that you may have. I hope that this is making sense. Now, the last but not least, Pisces, Sun, Rising, and Moon. So give me one moment. I need to concentrate. I keep getting that for some of you Pisceans, they're saying that you just had some sort of a success in a legal case. Or you had some sort of success in a situation related to your work and to your career. Okay. Other Pisceans had some sort of a success in a family related situation. And it is now time for you to kind of collect your success, or to collect the fruit, collecting, okay, the abundance. So some of you need to think now, as you are closing one chapter, as you are closing a situation that was ongoing, like you have been trying to get something for a while, okay, this situation that was going on for a while, now that will be concluded, it will be ending soon, and now you are preparing to open a new chapter of your life. You have to be very careful, because what I keep getting for you is like, if you still think the same way, then you are still carrying the same energy from the old place to the new place, or from the old situation to the new situation, to the new beginnings. So it's very important that you pay attention to how much your thinking has evolved. Okay? You have to pay attention to your internal energy. How are you feeling? Okay, and you have to understand that you have to carry with you the lesson that you learned, but you don't have to carry with you the negative feelings. You don't have to carry with you the anger. You don't have to carry with you, I don't know, the fear. You don't have to carry with you the grief. So remember that as you are transitioning to this new chapter of your life, to this brand new beginning, remember that maybe for some of you, maybe you need to energetically, so to speak, shed off the old layers of the old energy. I keep getting that for some of you, your success in a career, or your success in a job that you may have, will now begin to progress rapidly. You are going to find yourself in the next upcoming weeks and in the next upcoming months, moving forward with a high speed, so significantly progressing forward. I keep getting a lot of you Pisceans, particularly if you are involved with anything creative. Creative could be painting, creative could be dancing, creative could be, I don't know, new cooking recipes, creative could be, I don't know what, it could be anything, okay? I keep getting that all of these things now are going to go better than before, because a lot of you were a little bit stuck in a situation where you felt like either like a writer's block, or maybe you are trying to come up with solution, but it's like you couldn't come up with solution. Your intuition, your psychic ability was a little stuck. Now you're going to feel like little by little, your intuition is opening up more, your creativity level is more vivid, or it's more energized. So little by little, a lot of you Pisceans are getting ready to turn a new chapter, and this new chapter is going to be different for all of you Pisceans. A lot of you are going to turn a new chapter to a relationship that you have. This could be your marriage. A lot of you are going to now turn a new chapter to this marriage or to this relationship. Finances for right now, I'm not getting anything significant. Okay, that is too bad or too good. So nothing significant, nothing in particular. But very soon, toward the end of the year, toward November, December, something significant will happen with your finances, and you need to watch this video again in the next upcoming months. So watch this video again in October, November, and in December, because something significant will happen. So for some of you, it's very significant with your finances. For other Pisceans, they're just saying something very significant to you. I keep getting a child. I keep getting taking care of children, being around children, enjoying being around children, maybe helping a child of yours, raising your granddaughters or your grandchildren. That is being indicated. And I also keep getting finalizing of something. For some of you, I keep getting if the proceedings have already started a while back, for divorce, I keep getting that you are now going to finalize something in regards to a divorce. If it was a lawsuit that already started, you are now going to finalize this lawsuit. So something that already started, okay? Now toward the end of September, beginning of October, now you are going to be able to end it or to finalize it or to complete it. When it comes to sleep, I keep getting not everybody is going to notice a significant improvement to your sleep if you were dealing with sleep issues, but definitely around October, November, your sleep is going to get a lot more better. And they're saying not every Pisces is having sleep-related issues. But again, even for you, I keep getting pay attention to your dreams, because your dreams are going to be quite prophetic. Or, sometimes when you are daydreaming, pay attention to that as well, because the spirit is trying to communicate with you personally. A lot of you Pisceans are blessed, naturally gifted with this ability to see the energies that other people don't. So either a person who has crossed over, could be a mother, a father figure, to you could be a pet that has crossed over. They are trying to communicate with you. Pay attention to your dreams. And I keep getting, you are going to change your opinion about something. You're going to change your opinion about something. You're going to change your mind about something. You could be changing your mind about someone even. So get ready, they're saying, because you're going to be changing your mind, your opinion about something, someone, or a person. And this is now time for many of you Pisceans to think about your future and to invest in your future. So if you need to prepare, 401k, the pension, prepare for it now. It doesn't matter how young you are. So you need to prepare for your future now, long term. It's for some of you, they are encouraging you, and you know who you are. This message is going to make sense to you. So they're saying this is the time for you now to start preparing for your future. Leave me a comment. I hope that this is making sense to you. Remember to click in the show more description box right down here. If you'd like to know more about September 2018, I made a whole new video for those of you who are interested for download and purchase right down here in the first link. The second link is going to take you to the Eclipse special series for download and purchase if you are interested. Remember, we are still under the influence of the eclipse season. If you like to contact me for a personal reading, email me at amalightworker@gmail.com and visit my website, www.amalightworker.com. So visit my website, choose a service that you like, place a payment, contact me to confirm that you placed the payment. So this way we can schedule. I always adjust my time into your timing. All of the sessions happen in East time zone. And email me right afterwards so I can put you in my schedule. Thank you again so much. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Remember, when you subscribe, you give me permission to give you a reading. So a lot of this reading will make better sense to you when you subscribe. Remember to follow me live this Sunday. Again, we're going to do another special live streaming this Monday. Contact me if you'd like to know more about the VIP package. It's a 12 weeks training program, $1,000 for 12 weeks. And I am going to personalize this coaching program to you and to your needs. Email me directly about that. You may not necessarily find the information of it online. If you like to schedule like a 30 minutes, for example, Akashic reading, that's $55. Or if you like to schedule like a 30 minutes tarot reading, that's $55. So I did post the prices down here below if you are interested. And again, you can always visit my website. Thank you again to everybody. And now let's say the closing prayer. I would like to thank the masters, teachers, and loved ones for their love and compassion. I would like to thank the Lords of the Akashic Records for their point of view. And I would like to thank the Holy Spirit of Light for all knowledge and healing. The records are now closed. Amen. 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 Thank you again so much. I will connect with you again this coming up Sunday. Please like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment down here below. Email me at lightworker@gmail.com or visit my website, www.lightworker.com. Thank you again, and I will see you soon. Have a nice weekend. Bye-bye.